What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. Now, I got a story for y'all, okay? A true story, and I want y'all to follow me and understand where I'm going with this, okay? Because I'm going to get to the point what you're going to see. I'm going to connect some things because I want to give you guys visuals. So when you hear what I'm saying, you can feel it. I can paint the picture for you, okay? There was a time we were at the park. Park is packed full of people. All the girls, everybody sitting up on the bleachers, we balling. So I played like 15 games of basketball. Like straight, just back to back to back, just, we be balling all day. There was this particular guy out there that had a problem with me, but I wasn't even aware. Now, so it was some female he was crazy about. He saw the two of us having a conversation, so in his mind, I was real cool, but in his mind, I was in his way. So now he's all, he's not saying anything to me. I don't even detect anything. Like, you understand? I'm out there, we balling. Don't worry about nothing. So, come to find out, he's over there, light-skinned ass, bitch ass motherfucker, man. Fuck his ass, little bitch ass, light-skinned. I hate them pretty boy ass motherfuckers, man. Whatever. But he's saying this amongst his people. Then you got certain people, like, they know me, but they know him. These like the little in-between little soft dudes. They speak to people that they know that don't even like them because they don't want no problems, right? But, okay. So they're not saying anything, but they kind of like just, they know what he's saying about me. They know I don't know he's saying it. Okay. So, long story short, this coward waits until I finish playing ball. Figure I'm gonna be tired, because when we would play ball, what we would do too, we would like get the gloves. This is when we was on that Kimbo Slice stuff. We used to go out there, we would bang out, we'd rock out, and a lot of times the gloves would come off and it would get serious because dudes are saying the wrong thing, can't realize that you just got your ass whooped. If I take the gloves off, it's that much worse. Okay, so basically he waits until I finish. I'm tired, and when you finish, if you've ever played ball like that, if you did anything where you exert energy, when your body finally shut down, like your mind is like, okay, I'm good for the night. That walk home seemed like it's even that much longer, So anyway, it's like, all right, cool, we done. But now we sitting around just chilling for a minute. So he was like, yo, like, you gonna put the gloves on with me, right? He's like, yo, how about you? To me, right? So I looked at him, and I don't know him like that. So my response is like, fuck you talking to? Talking to you, mother. As soon as he said that, I just punched him in his face. Boom. He's like where the bleachers are, right on the corner. You know how the bleachers got the like 4 or 5 tiers up, whatever. He flips like loses his balance, go over the bleacher. So I'm putting hands, knees, elbows. I'm putting it on him, right? Now, of course, he tells everybody that I snuck him. So, we're not in the boxing ring. We're not in the MMA cage. We are in the streets. This is about survival. For me, I'm teaching him an object lesson in respect. This wasn't about, I'm fighting you to prove to you I can beat you. I'm not worried about that. No concern of mine. Okay, I'm not afraid of anybody. Ain't a person on planet fucking Earth who I won't exchange blows with. Nobody. And I've always been like that. So this dude, he snuck me. Okay. I see him again. But this time, I ain't playing no ball. I'm fresh. Put it on him again. Same result. Actually worse this time. But same results. Now, through all the talking and him trying to explain, now I'm 247, 250, just okay. He's like the same size, but like 6'7", 6. He like real tall. Much, he's taller than me. I'm okay. So anyway, so we both over 6 feet, okay. But he has inches on me. This dude made himself sound like he got jumped, like he got outnumbered, like I pulled a weapon out. You want to know what's funny out of everything he said? He never bothered to tell people You know, he snubbed me. This and that, yo, I fell. I kind of like, and I lost my balance. I hit my face on the ground, and blah, whatever. So now, 2 ass whoopings I give you. 2. Big, tall, black dude. We used to call him Sid, because there's a wrestler. Psycho Sid, that's who he looked like, but black. And he had like this Jerry Curl style haircut, so he had this, like, he looked like a big black Sid Vicious. We used to call that, everybody called him Sid. So, what was so funny is how when he told that story, he tried to make it look like I did something dirty, right? This is a street fight. And first off, you talking like you talking to some chump, so nah. No different from Mike Tyson punching Mitch Green in the face. You know what I'm saying? Nah. We don't play that. But what's funny is he left out. Oh. I waited till he played all those basketball games. I left, came back. They balled all night. So I tried to wait till he was tired and weak. Felt like that would be the best chance for me to go at him. And I'm fresh, you know. No, he didn't say that. Didn't tell nobody that. Okay. This is not about, let's see who the best fighter is. I know I kick your ass. I'm not worried about him. But he had a lot of people intimidated just because of his height and size. But like I said, body-wise, we like the same size. He was just taller. I know he's not as strong. I didn't care about his attributes. I know his physical attributes. I know what I can do. I ain't worried about that. Now let's put this in a situation where people wanted to see me get my ass whooped, right? And wanted him to win. What you think everybody would be saying? Yo, but Aries snuck him. Yo, that wasn't fair though. Aries snuck him. But all of these people that would be testifying for him, even people who didn't see it but heard it and want to give him the edge, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, he snuck him. He ain't fight him fair. But they're not going to look at the fact that this dude hung around and tried to wait till I was at a physically weakened state. This was a cherry pick going wrong. I don't like that little light-skinned motherfucker. Fuck you, man. Bitch ass nigga. Yeah, this is what he was doing. Okay. Now, let me just clear something up. Because we're not going to go down this road. Again, there's no need for this long. We would have been through this already. And I'm pretty sure half of y'all already know where I'm going with this. He said, she said does not change the facts. Now, the thing is, the people that was there saw what happened. I had no problem with saying what happened, but at the same time, wasn't nobody trying to come at me with no tough shit, and they all knew what the deal was. Yo, your man got his ass whooped, as simple as that. I do it a 3rd time, a 4th time, a 5th time. It don't make a difference to me. But at the end of the day, and I'm not going to go too detailed because I don't want to, but with that situation, but he basically tried to make himself the victim. Now, the other day, we all tuned in to watch an interview where Tay Jones was speaking about Deontay. Deontay had tore the meat right off his bone. He had said he had the biceps tear and all that, the injury to his arm and all of that. We know after the fight we saw Deontay laying down on that table. They had the overhead view of him. He had his arm iced up. Now, his sparring partner said it happened during the sparring match with him. Shelly Finkel is doing an interview and he just debunks all of that. He's like, Deontay's fine. All of this stuff is just nonsense, yada yada. Several videos ago I said, you know what's funny? I don't see Tay Jones or Marcellus Wilder negotiating contracts with Wilder for Wilder. I don't see them speaking for him at press conferences. I don't see them doing nothing. But they've made allegations. Why isn't JD's or Shelly Finkel saying anything? Now, one of the biggest misconceptions people will have would be, but that's his brother and that's his friend, and so they would know. Listen at this. Deontay Wilder did not say anything. There's nothing that Deontay Wilder's going to say that if he was going to say or do anything, it would have happened already. There's a guy right now who has a channel, Ikea or whatever. He has a picture of Deontay Wilder's face and says Deontay Wilder claims that the WBC ignored his allegations. You know, it's nothing but clickbait. These guys will post pictures and make you think, oh shit, you think you're gonna watch a video and Deontay's not saying anything. And they always talking about sources say. Very, very reliable sources say. And for everybody that want to believe the bullshit, y'all crossing your fingers and hoping that Deontay finally get in front of that camera and say something. Listen to me, man. None of this came from Deontay. This could have been all ended a long time ago. If Deontay would have just said, hey, look, it happened, it went down, the better man won. But I'm going to get his ass next time. No worries. Bomb squad! It's over with. We waiting for the third fight. The fact that he allowed everybody to speak on his behalf is like, Deontay, if you're not saying anything, why is everybody else saying this stuff and you're not saying anything? Why you not telling them to fall back with all these allegations? Okay, and that's fair. That's understandable. That's logical. Anybody should be able to understand that. But because he didn't, most of us feel like, yeah, it's not your fault that they're saying what they're saying, but you can be the X factor in this whole thing to debunk all of this bullshit. Tay Jones did an interview with Blue Blood and said, I'm in the house with Deontay right now. And that's when I'm like, well, damn. Nah, I done heard it all. You mean you're in the house with Deontay? That means Deontay know you're being interviewed. He knows you're talking. So he's purposely not going to come in this room or say something because he don't want to have to face the music and answer these questions. He know that people are going to ask him. Whoever interviews him is going to ask him about Glovegate and all of that. Deontay don't want to talk about none of this shit. I don't care what he says to Blue Blood or whoever off camera. Notice none of them can say what Deontay said, right? Or what they talked about. So even to say, I talked to Deontay Wilder a couple of times. I wasn't on the phone to know or had a conversation with or however they did it on video or whatever. But I guarantee you, Deontay probably was saying some shit like, man, look, I ain't worried about all that. I'm feeling good. Just know I'm ready. The third fight gonna go down. I don't even want to talk about. I guarantee you, Deontay said something to that effect. And I don't like to say I guarantee you because it's not like I was there, but it makes so much sense because you think for people that keep making up shit saying Deontay, they put their own words and say Deontay said or sources say. You think that Deontay Wilder, do you really believe? Think about this, okay? Because what y'all trying, with all the excuses y'all making, what y'all are saying is Deontay is a big dummy. This is what y'all saying. You mean to tell me somebody put a dent in your head, could have took you from your little girl, could have took you from your wife, could have put you in the fucking ground and had you brain dead from hitting you in the head with a blunt metal object, taking padding out of his glove. All of these things. Do you think that Deontay Wilder would have that happen and sit back and go, you know what, I don't want to jeopardize the third fight, so I ain't going to say nothing. But I'm going to fight him a third time, then I'm going to come out with all these allegations. Please, somebody tell me, how does that make sense? Just don't even tell me. Just ask yourself, how does that even make sense? And I've heard so many people say, why would you want to fight somebody again that cheated you? I wouldn't. I would. Motherfucker, you didn't beat me fair and square. I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass. So, just like I rocked Sid, right? Just like I rocked his big 6'7", 6'8", whatever he is, rocked his ass, right? I gave him that rematch. And I beat his ass the same way. The same way. We could have took it to the cage, to the ring, it don't make a difference. The street, the alleyway, a bowling alley, a restaurant, it don't make a difference. He'd have got his ass with the same way. Now we've heard Tay Jones talk. For people to say, okay, see, Tay Jones said yada, 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 and he's Team Wilder, he would know. Okay? Shelly Finkel said the complete opposite, and yada, yada, yada. He's Team Wilder, so he would know. So, now we're going to juggle who we think is telling the truth? Now, I personally don't even care. Because, like, real talk, this has been so long now that it's just goofy now. And a lot of y'all are still sitting there like, Wilder, please, just say something. I just want to be able to say, I told you so. Listen, again, if Deontay Wilder would have came on the show and got interviewed himself instead of Tay Jones and said, I feel like I was cheated, that still does not prove a goddamn thing. We lost track of what the purpose of us even talking to anybody or anybody interviewing these people will be about. It's proof. What is Tay Jones or anybody else other than Deontay Wilder going to prove? The only thing that Deontay Wilder should be doing in that situation, if this had been true, is bringing a lawsuit against Tyson Fury and getting him kicked out the sport, like Tay Jones said, and locked the fuck up for trying to take a man's life. You know, when you're a boxer, right, your hands are fucking licensed. Now, on top of that, now you're going to go and put blunt. First off, imagine this. This is a soda can, okay? Well, an energy drink. Imagine this being solid. I don't give a fuck if we just take it down this, and I put this shit on my hand. Do you realize how easy I could break my fucking hand doing that? So all of these allegations, right? Think about it. Through everybody talking, it always comes off like everybody's against Wilder. I can't control who like Wilder or who don't. That's not my concern. That's not what this is about. And when you look at it, it's like, nah, we're not even questioning Wilder. Only question I had about Wilder, for Wilder, would be, why are you not saying anything? Like, tell these people to chill. Because they making you look like a softie. They making you like a big 6'7" sucker, like you can't talk for yourself. That's what they doing. And you sitting back allowing it. You came on a video to tell us, okay, you want to rise and come back and all that. Okay, now, why don't you, wouldn't it be that much easier to just make a quick video, kill all them rumors? I'm good. We gonna get him in the third fight. Whatever. Address your people. Yeah, you know, hey, I know, hey, everybody support me. Y'all down. Hey, I got you. We gonna get him next time. None of that happened. So y'all really think, so now, Shelly Finkel says 2 weeks from now, Deontay Wilder is going to have an announcement, right? Okay. Did not tell y'all about 7-8 videos ago, Deontay Wilder is going to dismiss all of these allegations. He has already dismissed them just by being silent. What do you think Deontay Wilder is going to say to further make a fool of himself? Okay? By allowing his fan base to keep making these excuses and he don't say anything. So what I'm saying, what is he going to do to add to, okay, my fans already making me look stupid because they got people believing this shit. So what am I going to do to make it even worse? I know. I'm going to wait 7 months later and I'm going to come out and I'm going to say, I was robbed, I was cheated. I don't have proof or evidence, even though this is the claims that these channels are making. And a whole lot of them even lied and said that these words are coming from me. And I did nothing to bring truth to the light. Deontay Wilder knows. Shelly Finkel said he wants to fight. He wants revenge. Deontay Wilder knows this shit will make him lose so much credibility if he came out and made excuses for losing. Whatever excuses he made after the fight, the phone conversation he had, that we can find and is all chopped and screwed now. But anyway, all of that. Listen, for everybody that want to believe the opposite of what actually happened, that, oh, the reason that happened was because, it's not going to change the outcome. Y'all just can't live with that. You know, what I think about Deontay in that situation is this. I think he definitely was overwhelmed. Did not think Fury was going to be able to do what he did. I don't care about legs being weak or I hurt my arm. No. Fury did what he said he was going to do. I'm going to walk him down. Let's not forget the first fight when Fury got dropped. But anytime Fury went forward, he had progress. He even buckled Wilder a couple of times. So even when Wilder said, you got pillows for fists, I walked right through you. No, that's not true. He rocked him a couple of times. Now, Fury realized, okay, even if this dude naturally has a harder punch, I'm a big dude. This dude is tall and lanky, and he can't fight going backwards. So, you know what? Any smart fighter knows you take away what your opponent's strengths are. Remember, people used to always say the only way to beat Mike Tyson, you got to fight him like Ali. You got to dance and move. You can't stand right in front of him. Evander Holyfield showed you, no, it's not just one way to beat a guy. But to beat Mike Tyson, you counter, make him miss, and move him backwards. Mike can't fight going backwards either, at all. Mike only knows one speed, and that's coming straight forward, trying to take your head off. He neutralized Mike Tyson's strengths. So all the excuses, oh man, Mike, that don't change nothing, because Evander Holyfield was past his prime as well, and he's 4 fucking years older than Mike. So that was a stupid excuse for people to make. And to be honest with you, if we had internet like that, YouTube and all that back there, and social media, that probably would have been almost as bad as what they're doing right now with excuses. But that's what you do. So I believe Wilder was overwhelmed, like, damn, man, like, you know, and his ego was scarred, because he's supposed to be the monster. He's supposed to be the real live Ivan Drago. When I hit you, you know, whatever he hits, he destroys, right? And it didn't happen. So all I was saying, even like I told, like, you know, a couple of people, like when people DM you, I don't mean comment section, I'm talking when people DM you and try to, you know, people was like, yo, you see that sellout? I'm like, no. Listen, we don't need to try to bury nobody. That's not what it's about. I know what everybody was expecting to come out of that interview. And I told y'all that's not going to happen. Now, I can't predict how a person's going to conduct the interview, but what I'm saying, like, thinking about it, look. If you're interviewing somebody and you want to turn it to an argument, then the interview's over. Because I know if somebody, you know, wanted to talk to me and they talking stupid, you know, either you going to respect me, I'm going to hang this fucking shit up in your ear, click you off, we can get into some gangster shit or whatever. So at the end of the day. So all of that, oh, no, I don't think it's fair that people was expecting him, like if you thought he was, nah, motherfucker, you lying. Well, how, no. But the questions that we wanted to hear, common sense was telling me we're not going to get those questions, because those questions cannot be properly answered. So I understand why the interview, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that those questions should have been asked, because it's like, if you can't prove it, but y'all making claims, do you know how that make y'all look? If you're saying this happened, that happened, but where's the source? We can't just hear something and say, oh, it's true because somebody's saying it. So where's the information? Where did this even come from? Put pressure on these motherfuckers, make them talk. Make them explain something that makes sense. See, that didn't happen. That's what was supposed to happen. Not we gonna have a war, because first off, Tate Jones would have been stupid to stand and have somebody try to assassinate him, and he's just gonna be trying to, and they back him. No. I'm a grown-ass man, and I myself would have tuned the fuck out. Like, I don't care to see 2 grown-ass men that like little kids. You know, at the end of the day, if y'all gonna do all that, y'all might as well just jump into it. Just jump to the other shit and just you know, that's what you do, right? Because we don't sit up like little kids and argue. But at the end of the day, that was my whole point. Okay? That was my whole point. And I was really done with that. And after I heard Shelly Finkel's, I'm like, here's the deal. In 2 weeks or whatever it is now, when Deontay speaks, it's going to be about his next up-and-coming fight. I'm saying this again. I am undefeated with my predictions in this shit. I done told y'all, if he was going to address that shit, it would have been a long time ago. A long time ago. Nah, this ain't go down right. We need to investigate this now. So all that, Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC, they refuse to investigate. No. They have no reason to investigate, because the only people saying that, well, they should investigate this, and this is a bunch of YouTube channels. So if anybody's clout chasing and trying to build their profiles up, is these guys, because they keep mentioning the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, all this bullshit. Even Mike Tyson said he don't recognize Deontay Wilder as a champion. And Blue Blood and them put that, and this and this, and right. See, it's funny. Mike Tyson can do no wrong, but now he just saying something about y'all baby. Y'all don't like that. Michael Mora did a video when he was talking about how fighters are broke. Floyd was the smart one. What did Michael Mora say? Homie, you gotta learn how to box. Ain't no costume, ain't no none of that. You gotta learn how to box. Y'all take that as hate. Some of y'all are so ignorant. If y'all was slaves back in the day and Harry Tubman was like, hey, look, come on. We gonna get on this boat. Come on, let's go. I'm gonna get y'all. Yo, come on. No, we can't do that. Master gonna be mad at us. Some of them y'all would have been like, oh, stop hating, Terry. You just mad because we are slaves. hating on us because we slaves. Let us be slaves if we want to. If you want to call it constructive criticism, call it that then. Because that's all we've been saying about Deontay Wilder for the longest. Bro, if you put some skills behind that right hand, you will be a real dangerous motherfucker. Because right now, let's look at who the top tier fighters are and look at who he's fought already, right? Okay then. It's only going to get harder going up. Deontay's already 35 fucking years old. So even though his plan is, he said, is to fight till he's 40, you don't know how them 5 years going to go, and he's always getting injured. Y'all seem to take logic and reason for hate, which I really can give two fucks about. I'm not explaining myself to y'all so y'all can, I give a shit how you think about me. Feel what you want. I'm a grown man. This is my channel. I say what I want to say. Y'all don't like it, tune the fuck out. Simple. I don't go on anybody else's channel and tell them what they should or shouldn't do. You know, even if I make a comment about something, you can take it how you want. But even when I talked about double standard, right? And I'll be straight up real about it. I was on Counterpunch Boxing's channel. Now, I wasn't talking to anybody particular. I was just reading the comments. And I put up there, anybody remember how when AJ, you know, everybody got on AJ's case when we got word that he was concussed and people were saying, oh no, well, he should have canceled the fight then. You know, should have canceled the fight. You know, you just reschedule. You don't go into a fight. There ain't no excuse. AJ wasn't making no excuse. The fans were saying something wasn't right with AJ and this and that. And then the rumors about concussion, which later on, Sarah Fana was doing an interview and she said Joey DeWaco called them. I think she said like the day before, the same week of or something, that right before Jarrell Miller popped dirty. And he let them know he's going to be 100%. I gave him a concussion, so it's going to be easy work. Now, I typed up there. Remember how everybody was saying that Deontay, AJ should have canceled the fight? And I said, how come it's not a double standard for Wilder? This was not a question that was directed to anybody individually. This was just, think about it, right? Because what everybody was saying was, well, you know, people was like, well, you know, he's a warrior, man. He don't want to cancel the fight, or he, you know how many people would have been pissed off, or, you know, he'd let the fans down if he'd have canceled the. Wait. So AJ is making his USA debut. All these people not only came locally, but all them Brits that flew over here. You don't think they would have been fucking pissed too? It came all the way over here just for the fight to be canceled. So AJ didn't have that same weight on his shoulders then? And this is not about a defense for AJ. This is about a defense for logic, reasoning, and common fucking sense. So it goes both ways. Now, that's all I was saying, right? So, you know, Kurt, he typed in like, because COVID already canceled a lot, and then put in Counterpunch. I'm like, that don't really make a difference, though. Because that fight has already been pushed back again and again. It's not even going to happen this year. So COVID has nothing to do with it. As far as, it's not an excuse. Yeah, you're right. COVID did push back a lot of fights. What they got to do anything? If you was in Deontay Wilder's corner, would you have sent him out there to fight knowing that he was injured already? And if people going to say, oh, well, his cornerman didn't know, well, then that's that's fucked up. Because just like if AJ, if they would have been in jail, if them motherfuckers sent a concussed fighter, you know they would have been in some shit, right? So if he kept that from his people and nobody noticed nothing, you mean you motherfuckers can tell about a glove from watching your TV, but people around Deontay can't realize he ain't throwing his punches right, something ain't right with him? So all the excuses. So what I'm saying, there was no back, because I don't do back and forth, but what I'm saying is, this is what I'm talking about. When people say things, they don't think. They're looking at it their way. We all human, you know, but think about it. He basically, the fight's pushed back. So COVID, yeah, it pushed a lot of shit back. But the fight's still not happening this year. You know how much could happen between now and then anyway? So the fight and COVID is still pushing back. And you know why? It's not just a COVID situation. These people are losing a lot of money. These are mega fights. They don't want to do this in front of small crowds. So if they can get a building that holds a really big number of people, what's better about that is because you can put a lot of people in, you just got to spread them out. But you can put a lot of people in there. So at the end of the day, what what stadium that they talk about? The Oakland Raiders or somebody's stadium they talk about. So they're trying to get 15,000 people in the stadium. That's a lot of people. Maybe not for the, maximum capacity of that particular stadium, but that's still a lot of people. Versus fighting in front of nobody. Get some of that, make some of that money back. They're losing a lot of money. So it's not just because of, it's because of COVID, but what I'm saying is you've had fights already. We've had some fights already. Dylan just fought in front of a empty building. So, you know what I'm saying? The fights at some point are going to have to happen. And they're just trying to push it back as far as they can. So even if Deontay was injured, it helps him because now that can, how long, if he had a torn bicep, how off the bone, how long that would take to heal? So this is what I'm saying. When you guys are making up excuses and saying this happened, that happened, it don't make a difference. Now, y'all get, oh man, they always talking about Deontay. Yep, because y'all keep talking about him. But y'all keep making stupid-ass excuses. Then, all of this, instead of just saying, man, look, we just going to have the third fight, that's going to be that. Y'all just putting more pressure on Deontay. And that's another reason why I believe Deontay is avoiding this shit. Look, he don't want to have to answer this dumb shit. He don't want nothing to do with that. Deontay wants nothing to do with that shit. And also, the pressure will be so heavy on Deontay because he loses his third fight. What y'all going to say? Think about it. Y'all done all this. He was robbed. So if he get his ass beat again, then what? Oh, man, he was still affected by that first fight. He wasn't right. Oh, man, Tyson Fury waited for him to get old. They had a third fight. Oh, man, it don't make a difference what y'all say. It don't change the outcome, man. It don't change the outcome. And that's why when I did the video about him not address, he's going to dismiss all of this, it was clear to see. So now, in all this, who's lying? I don't care about what Tay Jones said. I don't care about what anybody else said. Shelly Finkel basically dismissed that shit. Bob Arum dismissed that shit. Tyson Fury responded. Wilder still hasn't said anything, and I don't think he needs to at this point. He already didn't. And the only thing, like I said, that would make sense if he was taking legal action. But just to say, I believe I was cheated, what does that prove? Okay. All your fucking fans believe you was cheated. So, what? See, there you have it. He said he was cheated. And that proves what? I'm sitting here in my car. I could tell you I'm in fucking Albuquerque, New Mexico. Can you tell me I'm not? You don't know where I am. I can tell you anything. So all of these allegations, what I'm saying, at this point, look, at this point, he said, she said should have been dead from day one. But all that's done. At this point, all we should be preparing for is a third fight between Wilder and Fury. May the best man win. No excuses from either side. I refuse to go through this again, do all this because of allegations and all the whatever. And then when you're talking about boxing news, it's like, hey, you got to talk about what's going on. And to a certain extent, there's a lot of shit I skip because I'm like, that's bullshit. But it's like, you guys are putting a lot of pressure on Wilder because he has to win this fight regardless. He lose this shit, it only gets harder from here. Anyway, I hope the man's recovered. I hope he's healthy. I hope he goes in that fight and get the job done. I hope Fury's healthy. I hope he's fully recovered from whatever. No injuries, no nothing. Get the job done. Like I said, may the best man win. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say in this video. Catch y'all on the next one. Told y'all he was going to dismiss this shit. 2 weeks from now, he ain't talking about this. He talking about something else. Trust.